Welcome back, everyone. I'm Cheyenne Dominguez, and I'm here with
Juan Dominguez.
All right, we got a fun show for you in honor of the Winter Olympics.
Woo! Yeah.
Yeah. So, Winter Olympics are February 4th through 20th. The opening ceremony is Friday, February 4th, and I think it's going to be, for the first time, a morning opening ceremony, probably because we're like 12-hour time difference from Beijing, something like that. So
have your morning coffee.
Have your morning coffee.
And it's the day before my birthday. Do I get a medal for that? I love medals.
You should get a medal. You should get them. You deserve a medal.
Thank you.
You do, especially
well, we'll get there.
With the story we're about to tell.
Yeah. Let's talk about some Olympic highlights first, if you will. So what are some of the things that you've researched?
Okay, so I love the Winter Olympics, and I just learned to ski a couple of years ago because you know how to ski and I didn't, and I learned to ski. So there are 11 alpine skiing events, and our boys are snowboarders.
Yep.
So I checked, and there are also 11 snowboarding events. I think the one I'm most excited about is the one called Big Air. And it's exactly that, big air, right? Snowboarders getting big air. And I think the boys will love that. So that's definitely like top on my list that I think we should watch as a family.
Well, I think ice skating too. You love some good ice skating. It doesn't have to be the Olympics.
It doesn't. I love figure skating.
Yeah, figure skating, that's what I meant. Yes.
Figure skating. Yes, I love that. And I mean, gosh, I remember the whole Tanya Harding, Nancy Kerrigan situation that happened so many years ago. Like when I think figure skating and the Winter Olympics, that always comes to mind.
That was certainly something.
That was something.
Did I ever tell you that I am something of a good ice skater? I took a class at West Point, 9 lessons on ice skating. Did you know that?
You never told me that.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you could stand up on ice skates. Wait. Is this a required class?
It wasn't required as elective. It was a grade. Yeah.
You took figure skating?
I took figure skating, I think my sophomore year. Yeah.
As an elective.
I did. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So boxing is a required.
Boxing's a requirement.
Class. Yeah. Figure skating is an elective.
Figure skating. Yeah. I'm like a little Dorothy Hamill on ice.
You have never, ever once opted to want to go ice skating.
Next time we go, I'll show you my stuff.
Very interesting. I don't know if I believe this.
All right,
but we're gonna have to. I can't believe I just learned something new about you on the podcast.
Future podcast.
Okay. Well, before you mention some other fun sports, Winter Olympics, the luge. I always think that's fun. The luge. There was a video game luge that I was really good at for a number of years.
I did not know that game.
Yeah, I don't know why. It was so random, but I was so good at this video game. I can't remember what game or gaming platform it was on, but I remember I was like always #1 in this video game, the luge video game.
That says a lot about your personality, because lugers are bananas. I mean, God bless them, but they basically go head first, barreling down.
Yeah, just like throw caution to the wind. Yeah.
Some of the most spectacular crashes are lugers. Not that I would wish that on anybody, but
I really find it to be a very interesting. It's like I can't not watch. If that's on,
can't not watch the luge.
I can't not watch.
Okay, good. I'm glad you brought that one up too. Yeah.
And then curling. Curling is like the funniest Winter Olympic sport. It's like, I don't know. I feel like moms would be really good at that. Like, how fast can you clean and smooth the ice in front of this device that's sliding?
On moms and cleaning. I'm not gonna.
I don't. I just feel like. Trap. Well, I feel like I could secretly be good at it and not even know it, right? Because I feel like I've been doing that since I've had kids.
Curling, a lot of technique, and you'd be surprised.
I'm sure I'm totally underestimating.
They work out quite a bit, according to what I've seen on ESPN. They've got a whole workout regimen. So
I'm sure, I've no doubt. I'm sure all the sports do. Okay, but what's your favorite Olympic sport or Winter Olympic memory?
So sure. I mean, I remember 1976, and Dorothy Hamill captured the U.S. attention because she was so She was like a princess on ice. She was
I was
America's. You were one.
Thank you.
Thank you for that, babe.
I was 12 months old.
So anyway, Dorothy Hamill, and how the sport has evolved over so many years,
Yeah.
from very simple routines to like, triple sow cow,
flips
axle
and
thingies.
trips
Yeah,
and stunts, basically.
It's something else. It's a different
It's
type of athlete.
Figure stunt skating.
But I think anyone that's around my age remembers, I think the biggest Winter Olympic memory was the 1980 U.S. men's hockey team win over the Soviet Union. And if, it's during the Cold War, and it was a bunch of college kids playing against basically a bunch of professional hockey players, and no one thought that they could do it. And what a lot of people don't remember is when they beat the Russians, it was 4-3, and everyone celebrated like crazy. There was still one game to go. So
how do you remember the score of so many games in history?
Because I'm a
like
man.
All these different.
That's what we do.
All
That's
these
one of
different
our innate
sports.
traits. Yeah.
Like, I mean, if I asked you something
that happened yesterday,
that I said yesterday, you wouldn't remember, but you remember the score of not even the final game.
Mike Eruzione scored the winning goal, and great movie, Miracle on Ice.
Well, that's what I was going to say. This is
right.
This is the event or sequence of events that inspired the movie Miracle on Ice, which I love. I could watch that movie over and over and over.
Herb Brooks, was the coach of the team, and that great scene where they go back and forth on the ice all night after the players were checking out the ladies, and I believe it was Sweden, and and all you hear is again, and then the whistle goes, and they just go until they basically collapse. Yeah, he was insane.
That was intense,
but Herb Brooks got the best out of him. That's for sure.
Great movie. So let's talk for a moment about your
Olympic trial.
Your Olympic fiasco in what I would call the Olympic category would probably be the closest would be ski jump.
Ski jump / big air.
See,
but I got nowhere.
But you were on skis, not a snowboard. You were on skis. So at the end of 2021, we took a lovely trip out to Breckenridge, Colorado to
snowboard and ski.
Get out there on the powder,
with
right?
The boys and our oldest girlfriend. We had a blast.
We had a great time until about, we were midweek in.
No, we were the second to last day of skiing.
It was the second to last
next
day
to the
of
last
skiing.
day of skiing.
Yeah, and you decided to end up in the hospital. But we'll walk you through it.
So you continue to say you. There was no you about this. I'm a perfectly good skier, not a great skier. Good skier. Green.
Perfectly good skier.
Blue. I can hold my own.
Okay.
And we were getting off the lift, which with my family is the most dangerous thing that one can do, because they are a disaster getting off the lift. Now,
well, I'm still a new skier.
Yes.
Okay. And the boys are still new snowboarders.
This trip. You fell the first time, and then
I didn't fall again.
And the boys were, our oldest never really falls, and our youngest had gotten a lot better. So, I took the risk and got on the lift with you.
So we're on a 6-person lift. Yes. I think it's important to share that because it's a big, wide lift, and there are 4 of us in our family, and then 2 strangers.
And remember, for years, Cuba has been underrepresented in the Winter Olympics. In fact, I don't think they have representation. So I was trying to qualify for their Olympic team in the ski jump / big air. So here's what happened. We are getting off the lift. It's probably the last run of the day. Mm-hmm. And my oldest is to my left. I'm between him and my youngest, and then Cheyenne is our bookend all the way on the end.
4 of us.
So we get off, and he hits a piece of ice, and he's a boarder, and these boarders are extremely dangerous. Don't let people tell you otherwise, folks. Ski, they should have a board mountain and a ski mountain. But anyway, he gets off the lift.
So our teenager gets off the lift.
We all get off the lift at the same time, but he hits a piece of ice apparently, and starts coming right in front of me. And I'm going straight. He
kind of does a little
45 degrees
slippity doodah, and he's
fallen.
Turns and angles himself in front of everyone getting off the lift.
In front of me, actually, let's be clear. My path.
And your path, right in front of your path.
He falls.
He falls.
And then our youngest, I think, out of his peripheral vision, sees some commotion and he panics and he falls. So now I got two.
You're in between two boys. You're two boys.
At a 45-degree angle, so there is no lane for me to get off the lift. So, I resign myself to the fact that I'm falling. And as I fall to the left, I look to my left and I see the most horrible thing I've ever seen recently, which is my son's snowboard. Go from, if you're not watching the video, I'm going to explain it. It's a horizontal position, right? How you would go down the mountain on it, and it flips to a vertical position.
Right.
As I'm coming down.
So the edge. So you came down.
I came down on the edge.
On top of the edge of his snowboard.
And I bounced off of that thing.
It's a blur to me because I saw.
Well, the screaming wasn't a blur, was it?
You guys get off, and it's only a miracle that I did not trip over everyone and make it worse and land on top of you.
You did get off unscathed, didn't you?
I did. Yeah. I saw everyone, and I somehow, in my new beginnerness, was able to get around you guys.
Sure, if you're a skier, of course.
And you ended up on the other side of me.
Because what happened was once I bounced and I landed and I was writhing in pain, and I'll tell you, so short story is I broke 4 ribs. I'll tell you real quick about the whole journey.
Well, the short story is he was on the ground writhing in pain, and the lift operator stopped the lift. I had to yell for a medic, for him to get a medic.
It was bad. At least we thought it was. I didn't know if I had internal bleeding or if I had collapsed a lung. I couldn't catch.
While you were on the ground, I was trying to get the children and all of our equipment out of the way so that the lift could, people wouldn't be trapped prisoner on the lift because it's minutes at this point.
On the ground a couple of minutes, and actually, while you were doing all that, there was a gentleman named Jonathan, who we didn't know, who came over and helped me. He goes, "Hey, you're in a little bit of shock right now." He talked me off the ledge. He actually got me to stand up and
walk over to sit on a bench.
And walk over to sit on the bench so we
could clear the lane.
And we waited for the ski patrol.
So we got ski patrol there, and they did an initial assessment of you.
Well, I took all my clothes off because I thought I was bleeding. It was so warm in that area.
On your ribs, yeah.
And so we took everything off, and he looked underneath my shirt and he saw big black and blue and scratches, but thankfully no external bleeding.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't know if I might have internal bleeding because I wanted to.
So here's the thing. My husband can barely move, and he says, "Oh, I think I'll just ski down the mountain."
We're tough guys, us Army guys.
You could barely even sit up.
I could barely breathe.
No, it couldn't touch you.
Yeah.
It touched you on your side.
Yeah.
There without pain. So I vetoed the skiing back down the mountain.
I suggested, maybe I could just get on the lift and they can take me down.
Ride the lift down.
And he's like,
you would fall out of the lift. You wouldn't be able to pull the bar down.
I wouldn't be able to pull the bar down. You're right. The ski patrol guy was very patient, and he said, "Sir,"
I think his name was Evan.
Yeah, his name was Evan. He said, "Listen, I don't know if you have internal bleeding. You're not going anywhere." I'm like, "Well, how are you getting me down?" And he goes, "We're going to put you in that gurney over there." And I was like, "In a gurney?" And so they wrapped me up like a little burrito. And I asked if I could cover my face completely because I didn't want anyone taking pictures of me being gurneyed off the mountain.
You didn't want to be recognized on the mountain?
I did not want to be recognized.
So it was like a snowmobile type of situation that pulled you down.
A little sled on the back.
The sled. Oh, I know. I helped you get into it.
Yeah.
Help them put you in it.
And so you and the boys met me. They took me down to
They drove you down the mountain.
Drove me down, which hurt like heck. As you might imagine, with 4 broken ribs and
hitting the bumps.
Hitting the bumps all the way down.
It's not funny. I'm sorry. I'm laughing.
It's torture. And so we get to the bottom, and they have a hospital, right? Shocker.
There is it's not a hospital. It's like an urgent care, basically right at the medical facility at the base of the mountain.
A large, sophisticated,
more sophisticated than an urgent care, but ready to treat problems like this.
The busiest urgent care in America. There's slings, there's crutches, there's moaning, there's blackouts, there's everything. It's banana land. Anyway, they did a CT scan and they found, or at least an X-ray.
An X-ray.
4 broken ribs.
4 broken ribs.
And the radiologist said he's got a little bit of blood in the lung, a little pinhole, what appears in the lung. And so because of that, they sent me.
So then I get a call that they're going to transport him from the urgent care with 4 broken ribs in an ambulance to a hospital.
Yep.
ER.
Hospital ER, about 20, about 10 miles north, but 20 minutes because it was snowing and it was icy, and so it was bumpy.
A lot of snow,
a lot of bumps, not fun, but thankfully.
But you did say, you texted me and you did say you got some pain meds and you were feeling better.
They were like, "Sir, your face is looking a little pain right now. Would you like some pain meds?" I'm like, "I'll take whatever you got." And then a warm rush just enveloped me, and I think I fell asleep until we got up there.
Okay. Yeah. And I wasn't allowed to go into the urgent care or to go to the hospital because of COVID. So I skied down the mountain with the boys, and then I went to the urgent care and I found all your stuff sitting outside the door, the skis and your boots and your goggles and everything out there. Yeah. So I collected all of that stuff and brought brought that where it needed to go, but it was quite an ordeal.
I had to stay overnight. The trauma surgeon came in, and after they did a CT scan, he's like, "Listen, you've got a little blood, you've got a little pinhole." The radiologist actually suggested surgery, and the trauma surgeon overruled him and said, "Listen, I've seen, you can imagine what I see up here, and based on what your age and your state of health, I think that by tomorrow morning, we're going to keep you overnight to make sure I'm right. And if I am, we can release you tomorrow." And he was right. We started putting me on these breathing exercises and but I will tell you that the care I received in both of those places was phenomenal. I mean, great with everything that's going on in the hospital systems.
Yeah.
Everyone had a smile on their face.
You seem very relaxed texting from the hospital. You didn't seem like worked up or upset or anything, that you had just broken 4 ribs and maybe had a punctured lung and
good pain meds. So think of this, good pain meds. It's 11 o'clock at night and the doctor's like, "Well, I got good news and bad news. Good news is you're going to be okay. Bad news is you're going to have to stay the night." And I don't know about you all, but staying the night in the hospital means food, means my own TV, no kids, and you could sleep and eat and watch TV.
Sleep
and
as much as you want.
I'm like, "Doc, sign me up and don't be a rush to get me out of here tomorrow." Like,
You seemed really calm.
I had a great night.
Yeah. Once you got to the hospital, you seemed the communication really seemed calm.
They were really good.
Probably because you weren't in as much pain.
They were really good. The transport was over and the pain medications were good. And
So that was your foray, the Cuban attempt to enter the ski jump competition. Didn't quite work out.
Didn't qualify this year, but I got 4 years to get better. 4 years to get better. I will never ever go on a lift with you guys again. I will follow. I will go one in front. I'll always sit on the end so that I can ski away from the potential disasters that await. I'll get on an end. You're great, but borders. Sorry, I hate to discriminate, but my goodness.
The borders. What did the nurse say? The nurse said that at the hospital. Didn't you say that she felt like snowboarders needed a separate mountain?
She said when I walked her through what we just walked you through, and I told her what happened. She was like, "You know what? Those borders just need to be on another mountain." I'm like, "Amen, sister." Amen.
Well, we're glad you're okay and you're on the mend. And
back running 2 weeks later.
I know you're back running. You're tough, and you're healing quickly.
So healing quickly. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Anything else before we close out the Winter Olympics?
I was going to say, go Team USA.
Go Team USA. All right. Bye, everyone. See you next time.